Coors Field, we welcome you back as the Rockies get ready to take on the White Sox. The White Sox winning big last night. The final score 9-3. Freddie Garcia, the big key last night, giving up the 3-run homer to Brad Hopp in the first, and the Rockies didn't get another base runner against him. He retired the final 22 men he faced in the game, a season-high 10 strikeouts. Jamie Quirk running the show. Again, Clint Hurdle not with the ball club, attending to a personal matter, and Jamie Quirk managed the ball club last night. He'll be in control again tonight. Of course, Bob Apodaca handling the pitching side as well. Sox with a solid lineup, a balance of some speed. They still have power even though they've lost a couple of their big bats. You got to watch Scott Podsednik, Jay, at the top of the order. He gets on, it's pretty much a double.
I think he's the key to their whole lineup this year.
And Paul Konerko, of course, a 2-run homer in the first inning last night. Came with 2 outs after Joe Kennedy had gotten ahead in the count. Konerko, the big power bat in this lineup. Podsednik leading off, and Young Kim fires that first pitch. Jay, the key for Kim tonight?
The key for Kim tonight is he has to not overthrow. He does that a lot as a relief pitcher, not so much as a starter. When he overthrows is when he's all over the place.
And he gets that pitch in for a strike to even the count. 79 degrees here as we start play tonight. This is why we live here. A beautiful June night for baseball here at Coors Field.
We'll know right away his fastball command is good, and that'll be the key for Kim tonight.
He zips that breaking ball over, missing with that one. One big key for the White Sox, and they did it last night in terms of getting on the board. Although the Rockies got 3 runs back in the bottom of the first, they have been dominant in the first inning.
And this guy is the key to that first inning domination, I think.
A little blooper. Garrett Atkins going to have a play, and we've got one out.
Talking about Kim, he's 0-4, has not won a game as a Rocky. You see his ERA at 7.04, but as a starter, it's 5.5, 5.4, much lower. It's walks, too many walks, not enough strikeouts. The strikeouts are fine. Too many walks is the key. You see the opponent's average there, Jeff. It's only 258, so he's not allowing a lot of hits. He just has base runners from a lot of too many walks.
It's been a frustrating season for him, and obviously for Clint Hurdle, for Bob Apodaca, just because that batting average is so low as far as what he's able to do when he's getting the ball over the plate. But the walks, the wild pitches, it's been a struggle for him to get consistently in the strike zone where he needs to be.
Again, it's some overthrowing and trying to light that radar gun up. He doesn't need to do that. He needs to throw strikes.
Willie Harris has good speed. Did not play last night. Iguchi played at second base. Willie Harris a little upset during spring training when Iguchi was brought in during the offseason, but he's in there tonight, left-handed bat. Well, Young Kim, certainly, Jay, you and I remember him very well from his time with Arizona. I mean, he was dominant at times, and when that slider is breaking instead of just flattening out, he can still be that kind of pitcher. Just consistency.
Very tough on left and right-handed both when he's right. And that's what we thought we'd get the key when he arrived over here. It's just, again, it's his command. Now 3-1 here, and this is what we're talking about.
So now you need a big pitch. Lefties haven't hit that well often. And he deals it in there. Good fastball from Kim.
That's his fastball command. That's where he needs to be. 88, he's always looking to run it up there. 93, he doesn't need to do that. I think young pitchers need to look at that and say, if you can pitch, it's all about command and placement, not so much about velocity.
Payoff pitch. Oh, good breaking ball, got him. That was that slider, and he gave up on it, and it came right over the back door.
As you mentioned, Jeff, just a very good pitch. Look more like a changeup. Down and away where he wants to keep it. Perfect spot, great location. That's what I'm talking about, command.
So here's Aaron Rowan. Young Kim trying to get through this first inning. Jamie Quirk telling us before the game one of the keys is going to be after the 5th inning. Obviously, pitch count's going to be very, very important for Kim tonight.
And then that goes back again to throwing strikes. If you throw strikes, your pitch count's going to be down. So it's just, I can't emphasize it enough how important it is for him tonight to throw strikes. If he does that, he'll be successful.
Aaron Rowan with an 11-game hitting streak, hitting just under 400 during the run. And a nice play. Relaford got it. 1, 2, 3, and a good defensive effort by Relaford to end the first inning. Rockies getting just what they needed from Kim. He sets the tone early. 3 up, 3 down. Jamie Quirk running the ball club for the 8th time this year. Rockies with Desi Relaford getting the bulk of the starting time at shortstop now that Clint Barmas is out. And of course, Matt Holliday swinging a very hot bat. Saw a 9-game hitting streak end last night, but still slugging the baseball, and that's what the Rockies need when you get into that bottom part of the order.
You see one name on there that's new, Danny Ardoin, making his first start as a Rocky. It's not his first major league game. He does have time with Minnesota and Texas last year, but this is his first start as a Rocky.
Jose Contreras, the defector from Cuba, is on the mound. Desi Relaford taking that first pitch for a strike. This is the 5th time Relaford has led off tonight, or this game, and the 6th time he has gotten the start at shortstop.
Contreras, again, much like Kim, it's going to be about command. He pitches behind in the count quite a bit. If he gets ahead, he has an incredible split-fingered fastball that just may be the best in the game. It's unhittable, and if he's ahead in the count, he's almost unhittable.
The league is hitting just 200 against him. That is the best figure in the American League going into tonight. Interesting, though, Jay, both of these pitchers, Kim and Contreras, have hit 4 batters. Contreras has thrown 6 wild pitches. He led the league last year, and Kim's thrown 8 wild pitches this year.
I think they're both very similar. Again, it's going to come down to command. They can both be very tough if they throw strikes.
Fastball missing.
And the key for the Rockies hitters, I would think, is to be patient. Make him throw you some pitches. Make him throw some strikes to you. He's not been able to do that on a consistent basis.
Kim got the side in order in the top of the 1st. Now Relaford trying to get it started in the bottom of the inning. Relaford at short tonight. Jay, some good news. The surgery did go well for Clint Barmas today.
Yes, it did this morning, and he will spend the night in the clinic, and then hopefully be released tomorrow and get himself back here. And we'll see Clint and hopefully back soon and playing in late this year sometime.
Two-2 pitch. And we'll do it again.
You see Contreras' numbers here, Jeff, and 2-2 with a nice ERA at 3.27. That's a terrific ERA. But innings, again, walks a little high. Strikeouts, opponent's average, as you mentioned, Jeff, just 200, the lowest among all American League starters. So again, when he throws strikes, he's tough to hit.
Well, it impresses me, a guy who's worked 66 innings, only giving up 48 hits. You have to work your way on against him, and that's what Jay was talking about, hitters being patient. This one is gonna drop, base hit. So the Rockies get the leadoff man on here. Sox with Joe Creedy at 3rd. And of course, the former Rocky, Juan Uribe, is at short. Harris getting the start tonight, again after Iguchi started last night. Paul Konerko made himself into a pretty good first baseman. Rowan, very solid in center field.
It's a very good defensive club, underrated at times. And Podsednik again in left has added a great deal to it. Creedy at 3rd is Gold Glove caliber at third base, and we know all about Juan Uribe.
Gonzalez trying to bunt, but not much of a chance there. Jay, you and I were at Yankee Stadium last year when Contreras pitched for the Yankees against the Rockies. A game the Yankees won. Contreras pitched pretty well. Gonzalez, though, had a home run against him. So did the guy who's coming up next.
Long home runs off of him. And what happens when he gets behind in the count, he'll throw that fastball down the middle, and that's when he gets hurt. If he gets behind, which if he's pitching behind in the count, again, is when he gets in trouble. His ball, if he keeps it down, it tends to move better, but the ball's up a little straighter, and that's when they go flying out of the ballpark.
Interesting time as Contreras went over there. That sun's starting to set. This is a tough time for a first baseman taking a throw from the left side of the infield or taking that throw from a pitcher. Just a bit high.
We were talking about that last night, and for Konerko, he has not played a lot of first base, or Todd Helton has. I think it makes a big difference, and we have seen some very good first basemen, from J.T. Snow to Derek Lee to several just regular throws from, like you mentioned, Jeff, the left side of the infield. It's a tough place to play.
I saw Jeff Bagwell a couple of years ago just get out of the way.
And they rolled it across there to him at one point.
Yep. So that'll be in effect for an inning or two. Relaford not going. Popped up. Playable. And Konerko one-handed. There's one out here in the first inning. It is email the booth night, and we are ready. There it is.
You are.
Email us. Well, we'll do our best.
All
Let's
right.
put it that way. Email us at foxsports.com. Now Todd Helton mentioned a homer off Contreras last year. So even though a couple of Rockies have faced him, not a lot of at-bats against him, but in the case of Gonzalez and Helton, they have at least seen his stuff.
Todd has the old-time look really going tonight with the sleeveless jersey, and then the stirrup socks. He really looks like a 1960s type player tonight.
He could be playing for the Reds in the 60s.
Absolutely. The stirrups these are my favorite uniforms. I love them with these sleeveless. I think the players are most comfortable in these, and it's a good look. I really do like them.
Yeah, I really like the white top with the black sleeves.
Yep. Very traditional look, no question.
Todd Helton has had those 3 hits on Sunday against the Reds, and that was the first time he showed that look with the stirrups. Keeping it, even though he didn't have a hit last night, he did score a run, so that's good enough.
Yeah, he could have wore Red Sox last night because the way Garcia was pitching didn't matter what he was wearing last night. That was as good as I've seen at Coors Field. In fact, it was a record. 22 straight retired. Is a Coors Field record now for most consecutive hitters retired.
Yeah, not even Nomo did that in his no-hitter.
No.
Not a big lead for Desi at first. Not going, and the off-speed delivery is outside. The other guy I remember having a really good game against the Rockies was the game Pat Rapp threw here, where he threw a one-hitter. And he was very, very tough. Dante Bichette had a blooper in the 4th, and other than that, the Rockies did not come close. And that was pretty much the case for the Rockies after that first inning last night against Garcia. There was really no ball that was questionable.
Not even close.
Todd Helton being very patient, and of course Contreras being very careful with Helton. So Todd ought to get a pretty good pitch to swing at here.
This is when Contreras gets himself in trouble. He's behind 3-1, as we mentioned earlier. Now this is when he comes in with that fastball. Sometimes it's up a little bit, and you can drive it.
And if he throws that splitter, a hitter can lay off when he's ahead in the count. Relaford goes, and the pitch is high, so the Rockies have him at first and second. We'll take a look at our first email now. Comes from Ann in Littleton. How does a visiting team have a bat boy?
Well, the home team actually provides a uniform. Or actually, excuse me, the visiting team brings uniforms with them on the road, and then the home team provides the actual bat boy. He's a young man from Denver. Sometimes the players bring their young sons and travel if they're old enough to do it. But the traveling team brings the uniform, and then the home club provides the body, so to speak.
There's Preston Wilson looking to get it going again. He, more than anybody, had a rough night against Garcia last night. There's a strike. Preston against Freddie Garcia last night fanned 3 times, and then against Takatsu struck out to end the ball game.
That slider was just filthy on right-hand hitters last night. The changeup on left-handers.
Preston's been hot before last night. Numbers on the way up. Look at get out of the way in a hurry that time. Most famous kid bat boy, Dusty Baker's kid, don't you think?
Yes, he is now, after almost getting run over in the World Series. Thank J.T. Snow for saving him there. And that's a tough job. I think people think it's just picking up bats and bringing them back. But you're shining shoes and cleaning laundry. You're working when you're the bat boy at the Major League Club.
Contreras able to get ahead now. A defector from Cuba, but the tough part, after he defected, his family couldn't get out. Left his wife Miriam and 2 young children behind, and it wasn't until last year at about this time that the rest of the family made it out. They made it out on a speedboat. There were 22 people packed into that, and they made it from Cuba to Miami. The 1-2 swung on a miss. That was nasty.
And he gets ahead in the count again. He's tough. They threw him a changeup there, or maybe that split. He got ahead 1 and 2, and it's that split that he throws, and it went straight down and took something off it. And that's a tough pitch to even make contact with.
Well, here's the Rockies offense from last night. Brad Hopp with that home run to left center field. And Brad with 6 long balls this year. There's only 2 rookies in the league that have more than he does. Brad swings, lines this one into left, and Podsednik showing the speed in the outfield. We know he's got it on the bases, takes away a hit from Brad Hopp. Rockies got 2 men on, including the leadoff man, but they leave them both. We're scoreless. Young Kim had the side in order. The Rockies threatening the bottom of the inning, but couldn't score, so nothing going to the second.
Here's the Rockies defense tonight. As I mentioned, Danny Ardoin behind the plate, outstanding catch and throw guy. You see Atkins at third again, Relaford replacing Barmes again tonight. Gonzalez at second, Helton at first as always, and then the outfield Holiday, Wilson, and Hopp, which is pretty standard versus right-handed pitching. So that guy behind the plate, I think he's going to be a nice addition to the club. He can catch and throw, as I mentioned. That's been his strength. He hasn't played very much in big leagues. He's been drafted 10 years ago. Paul
Konerko up now, dangerous right-handed batter. We saw that firsthand last night. He homered off Joe Kennedy in the first inning. 15 home runs this year.
Like all big men, you really don't want him to get extended. He did last night on that home run. And once they get their arms extended and use their power, he can drive it out any part of the ballpark, much like Brad Hopp can. And try to crowd him a little bit and maybe off-speed stuff away.
2-0. That one's on the inside corner for a strike. Alex Rodriguez with 17 home runs. Miguel Tejada, the Orioles, with 16, and then Paul Konerko. Next hit will be hit number 1,000 in his career. 3 balls and a strike. Konerko starting out with the Dodgers. He was actually a catcher when he began his career, but he hurt his hip. It bothered him to catch after that. Dodgers suggested a position shift to first base. Pitch inside. He didn't get a whole lot to look at there, Jay.
No, Kim was very careful with him, but a leadoff walk is never what you want.
Now Jermaine Dye. The White Sox had 15 hits last night. It was a season high for him, and Dye contributed 3.
He was really swinging the bat very, very well last night. That double was a rocket.
Helton holding at first, and Kim gets that pitch in there for a strike.
First pitch strikes. Big key again to his success tonight.
Rockies trying to keep it going here at Coors Field. It's been a good homestand so far. Won't be hard enough to turn 2, and Relaford tosses that ball away. A break for the White Sox. Desi Relaford charging that ball. The easy play would have been to first, and I think Desi figured he had a chance at that lead man, but he lobbed it over there.
Sometimes you try to do too much, and that's probably what happened there. He took a peek at it. You'll notice he'll take a peek at it and realizes he has a chance for him, but he's in an awkward position to try to make that throw, and it just went over it up high. He did have a chance, but again, on that particular play, just trying to maybe do a little too much. The Rockies have had a problem with that at times this year, and certainly did there.
Rockies lead the National League in errors. Runners at the corners now for the Sox, and here's A.J. Pierzynski. Rockies now with 49 errors. What the Rockies need here is a double play, and Pierzynski led the majors last year when he grounded into 27 of them. So the Rockies would play it that way, trade an early run. Could be trouble. Long run. Nice catch by Atkins, and Konerko is not going to come home. Nice play by Garrett Atkins with Relaford and Holiday converging, and he got that ball back in a hurry, so no chance for Konerko.
Well, you're right, Jeff. That's just a terrific play by Garrett Atkins, going back on over the shoulder catch. Not easy. You've had the left fielder rushing at you. The shortstop's by your side. He made that play very nice. Did a very nice job. Garrett has really played very well defensively compared to where he was even a year ago. And his work that he did this winter's paid off. That was just an excellent play. That could have been in big trouble, as you mentioned.
Now a double play gets you out of the inning. Juan Uribe at the plate. Rockies infield backed up looking for the 2. Uribe was looking to hit a 6-run homer.
Yes, he was. He's a very aggressive hitter, as he was when he played here. He's looking for something to drive in the first pitch, and that's Kim did a nice job. Threw him the slider there, something off speed, and had him out front.
He has 13 homers in his career here as a Rocky. Uribe playing with the club from 2001 through 2003. Big batter here. And he gets ahead. No balls and 2 strikes.
He got away with one there. That ball was up and where he wanted it. He just fouled it straight back. But you know what? We'll take it. Juan not happy with himself. He missed a pitch he thought he could handle.
He has been struggling. Going into last night, he was hitting 159 in his last 20 games. But then, just to show you, it's a today game. He had 3 hits last night. Good pitch, off speed, and on 3 pitches, they get Uribe. That's a good job by Kim. The White Sox can't put the ball in play. Now there's 2 outs. A force will get you out of the inning.
And the key to the whole sequence was that first pitch strike, because then he couldn't sit on anything, and he made him another nice off speed. Look at the slider again. He just took something off it. It's a nasty pitch when he's ahead in the count.
Nice body English by Kim. You see him on that finish? So here's Creedy. Pitcher due up next. See what they give him, and they give him a first pitch strike.
Huge.
So a walk, then the error that put runners at the corners. A pop out, good play by Garrett Atkins. Take a hit away from Brzezinski. Then Uribe out on 3 pitches on strikes, and Kim a pitch away from getting out of a big early jam, and he will. Popped up in foul territory for Atkins. And that'll do it. Nice job by young Kim after the first 2-man reach. We're in the middle of this. Rockies and White Sox scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second. What's on tap is brought to you by Budweiser. Drew will be back tomorrow on Fox Sports Network for that one. Don't forget, on Friday it's a 3 o'clock start, first of 3 this year that'll be in the middle of the afternoon. We'll have it for you on FSN, then Saturday night, Sunday on UPN at 1 o'clock. Rockies getting out of a big jam in the top half of the second inning, and now Matt Holliday to face Contreras. There's that splitter, and he got a piece of it. Matt had a 9-game hitting streak end yesterday. He probably hit the ball against Freddie Garcia as hard as anybody. Couple of fly balls to deep center, but they were hauled in. Another good breaking ball.
Again, the key, getting ahead in the count. First pitch strike for Contreras. Much like Kim, their stuff's plenty good enough. It's just throwing strikes, much like Mr. Garcia did last night.
Contreras going for his 3rd win. The White Sox starters have 30 wins. That's the most in the American League. Pitch is low. The other thing that's impressive about their starters, Jay, they work deep into games. I mean, they don't tear their bullpen up as a matter of course.
Now that's huge for them, and Garcia in particular, over at least 7 innings almost every single game. They've got some horses that will give you 200 innings every season.
Another good breaking ball. And that's the 2nd strikeout for Jose Contreras.
He can be very, very tough again also on right-handers, much like Garcia. Right-handers came in tonight hitting 209. Actually, he's tougher on left-handers, probably because of that split that he throws. Lefties at 192. Right-handers 209 coming in tonight versus him.
Name your poison. He's pretty tough on everybody. Here's Garrett Atkins. Nice defensive play in the top of the 2nd. This is Uribe. You see a strong arm here. Atkins made it close, hustling down the line on a ball that wasn't hit very hard, but it's a 2nd quick out here in the 2nd inning. Now Danny Ardoin. He was in Oakland A. Jay, did you know him back then?
No, he's played for 5 organizations, and now in addition to the Rockies. And the funny, amazing part is he was in the same draft as Todd Helton. It's like Todd's been around forever. This is his 22nd major league game for Danny Ardoin, and it's really because of his offense. In the last couple of years, he started swinging the bat pretty well.
Last time he started was in July of last year. Started for the Rangers. The pitch in there for a strike. Said he really took this in stride. He knew what he had to do to get back to the big leagues. He was having a good year at AAA. He knew that he would have a chance at some point. At least that's what he felt. He tried to take it in stride.
That's really why, it's really why he signed with the Rockies in the offseason as a minor league free agent. Felt this was a good possibility here, had a chance to play here. That's why he came here, and that's what that minor league free agency does allow these guys to do. Also, you don't hear much about it, but they can pick and choose a little bit, find a spot where maybe they're a better fit.
Behind in the count. Little flare. Konerko's not going to get it. Danny Ardoin with a base hit. And the Rockies with 2 outs will get Young Kim to the plate.
That's a big hit. It'll turn the lineup over now for the Rockies if Kim doesn't do anything here. And it's still a big hit. Maybe a confidence builder for Danny. Get him going.
I said it was very helpful for him to go to spring training with the Rockies. He knew when he came up yesterday, when he walked into the clubhouse, the players that were in there. It wasn't a learning curve for him because he had seen all those players in February and March when the Rockies were in Tucson.
And caught the pitchers. That's important too. He understands it, feel for their stuff and what they have and what they don't have. And I think that's important. And Todd Green's been a big help for him too. I saw Todd talking to him today in the clubhouse. I'm sure about pitchers and what they do, don't do, what they can and cannot do. And J.D. Kloss, the other catcher, they were all talking today. So that's a big part of it.
I wish Greeny well. Hope he's back when his time on the DL runs out in 2 weeks. Kim trying to help himself here. Foul ball.
Watching BK in batting practice today and taking the ball to right field quite a bit, just trying to bang it to right field, which is a good idea. A bad average for a pitcher at 171, in particular a guy who's pitched mostly in relief. Not too many tries. And then in the American League when he started most of the time. So
only 3 at bats this year.
He's trying to hit the ball to the right side. We'll see what he does here.
Runner going, pitch swung on and missed, and the throw dropped by Uribe. Danny Ardoin with the steal.
His first major league steal. You saw it here. Todd Green probably saying it's all about the catches, how fast they are.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh,
there he
pretty
goes.
Good jump.
They left him alone. They didn't think he was going to run, and then he was in there pretty easy.
And you can run on Contreras. That's the 13th steal he's allowed this year. Now if Kim can find a way to poke one through, Rockies could grab the lead here. No score, bottom of the second. There's a bouncer to the plate. Ardoin takes off for third, and there won't be a throw by Brzezinski.
Bounce the slider.
Well, there's wild pitch number 7 for Contreras. Still, he's facing the pitcher, and he's ahead.
Yeah, it's a tough deal for Kim here. For that splitter, it's going to be a pretty tough pitch to hit, or even a fastball, low 90s. Slider.
Kim didn't go after it. 2-2.
Now, he doesn't want to go 3-2 in the pitcher, so Kim can sit up there now and really think I'm going to get a fastball so they can hit it.
Outfield softball depth, very shallow. Got a piece of it. Going to make Contreras work. Bare hand throw to first into that sun, and Konerko's there, and that'll do it. Danny Ardoin with a hit, his first major league steal, but the Rockies leave him at third. We've got 2 innings. Going to the third, the Rockies have left 3 men on, 2 in scoring position. Let's welcome in Keith Blyer. Keith, where are you?
Jeff, I'm down by the Rockies dugout, and it's good to have both you and Jay pinch hitting tonight for Drew and George. And we know that the Rockies have lost a few players as of late. They've got 8, count them, 8 guys on the disabled list. But here's the good news. They acquired 20 players today in day 1 of the 2005 Major League Baseball draft. And the number 1 pick, kind of a surprise, they went with a shortstop. They took a shortstop last year in Chris Nelson, but with number 7 overall, it's Troy Tulowitzki from Long Beach State, a kid who hit .350 during his junior year. He is Bobby Crosby's successor at Long Beach State and expected to be the same kind of player. They also took Chaz Rowe, a right-handed pitcher, a high schooler out of Lexington, Kentucky, and then Zach Simons, Daniel Cart, and Kyle Hancock round out the first 5 picks. But they also took a Littleton product, a kid in the 16th round by the name of Brett Berglund, who started his career at Arizona State, then transferred to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. and has raw power, has some real potential. So they take a Littleton kid in the 16th round. 20 picks in all today, guys. 10 pitchers and 10 field players. And Troy Tulowitzki, as Contreras goes down for the first out of the inning, is the #1 selection this year for the Rockies.
All right, Keith, thanks very much. Look forward to more from Keith during the game. That takes care of the leadoff man, Jose Contreras, and that's why you don't like to have your pitcher lead off, Jay.
Absolutely, and actually, Jeff, you and I were surprised when the Rockies sent Ardoin last inning, but he had his base stolen easily, so maybe that's why they sent him, obviously. But you want that pitcher to be the last out if possible.
Contreras 0 for 13 in his career. Nice play. Luis Gonzalez climbing the ladder to Rob Podsednik. Boy, anything you can do to keep him off the bases, and that was a nice play by Luis.
All about timing. Luis got up, did a nice job. The ball wasn't hit that hard, but just the location, I thought it was over his head. He just made a great jump, did a nice job, perfect timing. Goes to his right, leaps, pulls down the rebound. That's it.
You know, you got Aaron Miles on the disabled list, Clint Barmas on the disabled list. A lot of teams might be hard pressed to come up with guys the caliber of Gonzalez and Relaford backing those two up. Absolutely. Willie Harris fanned his first time. Kim has 3 strikeouts. Nice play again. Gonzalez in the hole. 1, 2, 3. So Kim doing just what the Rockies asked him to do, get some outs. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. We're still. That glove is not gold, but it could have been. Luis Gonzalez's glove. He made 2 very solid plays in the top half of that 3rd inning. Be sure you check out Tracy Ringolsby's column on the Rockies and Major League Baseball. You find it in only one place, the Rocky Mountain News.
Tracy with the colorful shirt on tonight.
Wouldn't be Trace without the hat either, huh?
Nope.
And the rodeo buckle. Desi Relaford trying to get it started. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. No score. Desi singled his first time. In fact, the Rockies had runners at first and second with only 1 out in that 1st inning, but couldn't score. They got a runner to 3rd with 2 outs in the 2nd. Couldn't get Danny Ardoin home. Both these pitchers have made some pitches when they had to.
And Desi's first at bat was very good. He's very patient. Finally got a pitch he could hit. Did a nice job. Fouled off some tough ones, and got a pitch he could hit for the base hit.
Creedy is playing right at the edge of the grass at 3rd. Relaford handles the bat pretty well. Might see him try to drop the bunt.
A high school coach would say they'll take one for the club, but that was 93 miles an hour, so I don't know if I want to take that for the club on that one.
Yeah, you take it for the club,
yeah,
Coach.
Yeah.
Leaving it up.
These White Sox pitchers are big guys. Boy, Garcia's a big guy. Contreras is what, about 6'4", 240.
Desi's working the count full. Well, you've got John Garland at the top at 9-2. Mark Burley 7-1. Hard to believe Freddie Garcia is your #3 starter after last night. He's 6-3. Then you've got Contreras, who brings a 2-2 record in. This is his 12th start.
But with a 3.2 ERA.
Exactly. And then you've got Hernandez, who will go tomorrow, and he's 6-1. If that's your 5th, it's a nice run.
El Duque is pretty good. His brother is too over in Washington.
That'll do it for Desi Relaford. That's strikeout #2. Make it strikeout #3 for Contreras. Gonzalez with a little pop-up his first time.
And he got the count to 2-0. Didn't quite get the pitch he was looking for, I guess. He was patient, which again I think it's important against this guy to get your pitch.
Sun's still a factor. In fact, it's even a little weirder now for that little path that the ball travels from the mound to the plate, because it's in and out of some shadows. First baseman's still in trouble at this hour. The pitch high. Remember, Jay, they were talking years ago. They were put a big net up there, down in the left field corner, trying to block that sun.
You have to be a pretty big net.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
Remember, Nat, they'll talk when Nolan Ryan used to pitch for the Angels and had those 5 o'clock games and be like this, his twilight. He was really tough.
strike called. I remember Lee Smith would come in late at Wrigley Field with the sun and the shadows, and double nasty. The 2-1.
But not as bad as it was in high school for Lee. He talked to the scouts that scouted him in high school, and his field had the telephone pole right behind second base where he pitched. I can't remember what state it was, but it might have been. I don't know, but there was a telephone pole. It was just part of the telephone wires went right through the ballpark, and one of them was behind second base.
Good rip that time on a fastball on the outside. Contreras has walked just one. Kim has only walked a batter.
And that's why it's 0-0 here in the third. Both guys, their command has been solid.
This is as sharp as we've seen Kim all year. Payoff pitch. Jammed it. Good pitch right in on the hands. And Uribe will squeeze this one. We'll answer your email again here. Todd Helton getting ready to hit. This one comes from Jay. How difficult would it be for the Rockies to attract a solid pitching staff and build a defensive club to essentially duplicate what the White Sox have done this year? Well, I think the Rockies in some respects are on the right track. And they've got a young phenom in Jeff Francis beginning the climb to stardom, projected to be one of the keys of the Rockies' future. Jason Jennings, of course, and you know, I don't think the record necessarily is there yet for JJ, but he's been very solid his last couple of times out. Aaron Cook going to come off the disabled list within a month, may have the best stuff of anybody.
And some of the best young kids in the game at this point, including Barmas, who's not here at this point, but Barmas, Hop, as we've talked about earlier, Corey Sullivan, another outstanding young prospect who can really run. It's a nice club they're building. It's just going to take time, some patience. And to get to this point where the White Sox are, that'd be perfect.
Todd Helton walked his first time, only walked by Contreras. And you look at various positions, and the Rockies are loaded. That's why they're trying to find a different position or two for Jeff Baker to play. Ian Stewart's on the way. He's the third baseman of the future, certainly. Pitch in there for a strike. So it's a long process. It is not easy. I think we're seeing the beginnings of that maybe in 2004 when we found out that Matt Holliday could play and Luis Gonzalez was a keeper. Again, this year they're going to find a few more, and if you do that for a couple of years, you're going to have that nucleus. Then you've got to go out and fill in where you need to. You find a Sean Estes or a Royce Clayton, whatever it takes, and then that makes your ball club the kind of ball club that the White Sox have become.
A couple of those guys have to really hit it big. You need some superstars, much like the guy at the plate now, but a couple of them become big-time players. They can be a very good club there.
Oh, golf shot out behind second. Uribe low, scooped by Konerko, and the Rockies go out 1-2-3. We are scoreless through 3. Jack Corrigan will be joining Jay Alvis in just a moment. Rockies and Sox 0-0.
No score as we head into the 4th inning here at Coors Field. The White Sox and the Rockies. Jack Corrigan here along with Jay Elvis. This is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to doing a couple innings with you.
Absolutely.
Well, I know one of the things that Jamie Quirk talked about with BK Kim was how far he could get in the game. 33 pitches in the first 3 innings is ideal.
We talked about that earlier, and when Jeff was over here, and just 6 pitches last inning. So if he can keep that up, get 6 or 7 out of him tonight, that would be phenomenal.
He will face Aaron Rowan to lead things off here in the top half of the 4th inning for Chicago. Rowan grounded out. Nice diving stop by Desi Relaford to take away a hit his first time up. 1 ball and no strikes on Rowan, with Konerko and Dye to follow.
It's always amazing to watch Kim as a starter. He's completely different. It's a different guy.
We were talking, Jeff Klein, the radio producer next door, we were talking about just that swing and a miss. Good fastball. He just seems to have a whole different demeanor, Jay.
He's Mr. Young and Dr. Kim.
Rowan stepping out for a moment. BK likes to work quickly when he's in rhythm. Might be playable on the sky ball. Garrett Atkins has already made a couple of nice plays. Nope, throw too deep. Thought for a moment maybe climb up on that tarpaulin.
That would have been exciting. He has made a nice play. That catch was an outstanding play on the ball hit by Pierzynski.
Yeah, the over-the-shoulder grab was the key play.
Yep.
When there were men on the corners and nobody out for the White Sox in the second inning.
And he kept both feet in. So that was an outstanding job.
Well, you know, college player, pro player, you got to know which way you got to go. Swing and a miss. One of the things that Kim has been able to do tonight with that slider is expand the hitter's areas.
Well, again, getting ahead in the count. We've been talking about that all night too, and make him chase on a chase pitch. There it is. If it's 2-0 or whatever, he's not chasing that pitch. But when it's 2 strikes, they're going to chase. And it's a great pitch.
4 strikeouts for BK tonight. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. He has had as many as 8 strikeouts in previous starts and throws a first pitch strike to Konerko.
Now he hit 90 on that pitch, which is the fastest he's throwing tonight. But again, it's all about command with him. Jeff and I were talking earlier, Jack, that the key to him and Contreras is throwing strikes.
A little bit wide with that Manila peel down at first, but no, they said not that time for Konerko. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I talked to Bob Apodaca before the game, and he said first pitch strikes is the key. 8 of the first 13 hitters he's faced, he's thrown a strike. That's why it's 0-0 here with 1 out in the top of the 4th. One of the reasons.
Driven to deep left center field. Matt Holliday giving chase. It's going to one-hop the wall. First hit of the night for the White Sox. Paul Konerko gets the 1,000th hit of his big league career. And the Sox have a man in scoring position with an out here in the 4th.
He is some kind of strong. Ball's away from him. Still drove it 400 feet to left center field.
Well, after a very slow start to the season, Konerko has really warmed up. That has coincided with the surge in the White Sox offense as well.
He brings that power. Podsednik brings the speed. He brings the power.
Jermaine Dye will slice it down the right side. Fair ball. And Konerko will round third and score. Chicago will take a 1-0 lead.
That's exactly right, Jack. He just sliced it. Ball away from him. Didn't try to do too much with it. Just sliced it out to right field. No one out there.
So after getting 3 1/3 hitless innings, a long drive, and now this.
That ball was inside out. It was on the inside half of the plate, and he just inside out swing and banged it out to right field for the run batted in. Didn't try to do too much. A lot of guys might have tried to do too much. It's a good piece of hitting by Jermaine Dye.
Jermaine Dye, another guy hot right now. When you got the middle of your order hot, that's going to help cook up your offense. Pierzynski, another guy swinging a pretty good bat. Robbed of a hit on the very nice play by Garrett Atkins going down the third baseline back in the 2nd inning. Still only 1 out. Rockies had that brief lead in the 1st inning last night. It has been the White Sox since Dye goes. Ardoin's throw to second skips off the glove of Desi Relaford. It would have been close. They'll give Dye a stolen base.
That's one of Danny's strengths, is catching and throwing. That's why he's still playing baseball 10 years later after being drafted. Solid throw. It would have been very close.
Sox with Podsednik's 31 steals, obviously leading the majors in stolen bases.
And that's Ozzie Guillen's baseball. He likes to run, make clubs throw you out. I happen to agree with that. You can run.
2-0 pitch is up the middle, and it'll get into center field for a base hit. Dye will round third, and he will score. Ozzie calls it smart baseball, not small ball, smart ball. And they get 1 big hit and then 2 excuse me hits and 2 runs.
Did not hit hard, but again, placement was perfect. Just got out past Gonzalez there. If he could have knocked it down, it would have saved the run. But you look at the White Sox lineup, and there's not a lot of high averages, but when they need a hit or in a clutch situation, they seem to get it.
And the stolen base is large as well. So the Sox, with 3 straight hits, have scored a pair of runs here in the 4th inning. And now BK Kim has to find a way to shut it off right here. Juan Uribe, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Runner goes, and Uribe fouls it away. That shows you what they're going to do. That sidearm delivery of Kim's is going to take a little time. But boy, when you got A.J. Przinsky trying to steal.
That tells you a lot right there.
One strike, the count. There is Ozzie Guillen. He was a bundle of energy as a player, so why are we not surprised he's like that as a manager? Uribe pops this one up out of play to the right.
2 runs in this inning keeps that amazing stat alive for the White Sox. I mean, 53 out of their 57 games now they've had the lead at some point. And with their pitching staff, that's pretty good.
They are 38-19, the best record in baseball, one better than the Cardinals. Cardinals are winning again tonight. They've now figured out a way to beat Boston. They couldn't do it in October.
Just about 8-9 months too late.
0-2 the count on Uribe. Swing and a miss. He got him again with that slider. 5 strikeouts. As we take a look at our Aflac trivia questions for tonight. Only White Sox player ever to lead the American League in RBIs. And
that's a pretty good clue right there, I think.
Yeah.
The guy from Paul Egan's hometown.
He is a big man.
Columbus, Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah, he's large.
2 outs with Brzezinski still at first. Now Creedy fouled out his first time up. Kim hit him. And the ball then skipped all the way to the screen. Well, the Rockies have the dubious lead, Jay, in a number of categories from a pitching perspective.
And that's one of them. 34th batter the Rockies pitching has hit this year.
So Creedy is aboard. Rockies lead the National League in hit batsmen 34, walks 265, and 32 wild pitches.
That's the 5th that Kim has hit. Jamie Wright and Brian Fuentes actually lead the staff with 6 apiece.
It's that fine line between being aggressively inside to hitters and plunking them. Jose Contreras saw Creedy get hit, and that front foot is bailing out big time when he sees that sidearm delivery.
That'd be me.
Strikeout victim his first time up. You see the total, the Rockies at the moment 4 more hit batters than the Reds, who were in over the weekend. 0-1 pitch, and he's moving before the ball is out of Kim's hand.
He's got that Ichiro stance going. Ichiro, when he runs up in the ball a little bit, that's what Contreras has got going here.
Used to call that stepping in the bucket. He's stepping in the bathtub. I mean, that's a big step away from home plate. Inside and almost hit him again. 2 balls and a strike.
And Kim's getting to the point where he's overthrown again.
Yep.
Mr. Apodaca talked about before the game. That's when his command disappears when he tries to overthrow. And then you watch his head and his whole body come off. And once he does that, his command disappears.
You can minimize things by getting the pitcher here, who is not much of a hitter. And he'll just cue it up the first baseline, and an easy play for Kim. That'll end the inning. But the Sox, with big and small ball, score a pair and take the first lead of the night. Taco Bell game reset. All the action taking place in the top of this 4th inning. And Jay Elvis, that was the only ball hit very well.
Yeah, the entire inning. This ball was insided out by Jermaine Dye for the base hit, run batted in, and then Brzezinski came up and did the same thing, just kind of bounced it up the middle. Didn't hit it very hard, but hit it in the right place for the second run. Dye scoring quite easily.
Dye getting a stolen base after his base hit, and that turned out to be an important aspect in that rally. So now the Rockies will have to try and get something going against Jose Contreras. He has allowed 2 hits and looked like he was going to be in a little bit of trouble when he had first and second and 1 out in the first inning, but struck out Preston Wilson and then got Brad Hopp on a line drive. Boy, right now Preston can't lay off the sinker and the sliders of First Freddie Garcia, now Contreras. They have really had him in between.
And that's not a good place to be.
There's off speed, and it's quickly 0-2.
Has a terrific pitch there, the changeup, which he doesn't throw very often. Just enough to let you know he has it, I guess. That's a great pitch.
Boy, when you're struggling just to make contact in a game and a half, and the curveball almost got him there. That wasn't a bad pitch. 1-2.
No, now he's very tough because he can throw that splitter right now, which is tough to lay off and chase it.
The 1-2 is, I don't think he swung. They'll appeal, and no, he did not.
He was able to lay off the splitter there.
And he can throw that splitter at a couple of different speeds too. He threw that one like a changeup. Then he can throw a harder splitter. And the curveball again just missed.
That was close.
Had Paul Emmel raised his right hand, I wouldn't have disagreed with him. Full count.
Rocks need base runners here. So Preston get on and lead off the inning.
Payoff pitch is by Uribe, and there is that hit. Well, what else do you want to ask for, Jay?
Oh, Brad Hopp hit one in the seats would probably be a good idea right about here.
Well, one of the things I was looking forward to when I had a chance to sit in tonight, we'll take a look at some of the emails that get sent in to us. Do our scouts in the Far East watch the players there, and how do you get that job? Sounds like you're lobbying for that position, John.
They do go to the Far East. We have people that do go there. Bill Guyvet does that quite a bit, actually. And Charlie Moffat was someone who was very involved with that at one time. Still is to some degree. His other business was involved over in the Orient.
Now we have Chinwei Sao. Chinglung Lo is another Taiwanese youngster that we have in the Rockies organization. I think there's several other Asians. I'm not positive in our organization.
But it's become a very important part. It's a world game, no doubt. And it's an important part of what we do. And to get that job, most of those guys are scouts and become very familiar with the language. It's certainly part of it, too. And the customs and the culture over there is a lot different.
Foul ball. That ball went out to Contreras, but it went off the front foot of Brad Hopp. Thanks for the question, John. And it is truly an international game now, and next spring nobody really sure yet how it's going to be constructed, but they are going to have a World Cup of baseball during spring training next year. 16 different countries expected to participate.
In March, correct?
Yes. Short lead for Wilson, and the ball goes back to the screen. Tried to run that splitter. Hopp didn't chase it, and then Przinsky had to chase it because it went back to the brick wall behind home plate. The wild pitch for Contreras.
And that's one thing that sometimes base runners take away from him. He doesn't want to throw that splitter as much, as it will do that quite a bit, go to the backstop. It's a very difficult pitch to catch, let alone catch. And that one went right to the backstop.
Rockies with a good scoring opportunity now here in the fourth. Sox got their 2 runs in the top of this fourth inning. And Brad hooks it to right field, but right at Jermaine Dye. Preston's going to tag. The throw is not in time. Heads up base running by Preston Wilson. He broke initially and then hustled back to second so he could tag up.
I like that play. It's aggressive baseball. We need to do it at this time and make something happen. The ball's at the right field. Make him throw you out. Didn't do it. Preston's on third base now with less than 2 outs. Matt's job to get him home. Ground ball scores a runner. And someone once told me, Bill Rigney used to be a manager in the Angels system and the Giants for a number of years. You have to learn how to make an out. This is one of those situations. How to learn how to make an out. Ground ball to short or second base is a run. And I'm still amazed at how shallow the White Sox outfield was playing. And
especially in left.
Yeah, it allows Podseca to make that one play on the ball hit by Hopp last time, shallow left center. But they play a very, very shallow outfield.
Line drive by Brad Hopp in the first inning that was a potential RBI hit taken away by Pozetnik's positioning. Strikeout first time up for Matt, but hitting well, hitting over 370 over the last 3 weeks, trying to get the Rockies a run at least. 2 balls and no strikes, the count on Matt Holliday.
Nice job, laid off that. Now he's got him 2-0, so now things are more in his favor here.
And Jay, the thing you talked about, the aggressive base running with Preston, it again perhaps takes away the splitter.
Absolutely. He was not going to want to throw that here. Bounce it again, and Preston will score.
Now 3 balls and no strikes. Being very cautious to Matt Holliday. Garrett Atkins on deck. Of course, you then put the double play potential back in order. And they get the scouting reports. They know that Holliday's been a hot hitter of late. And Matt had the green light. He was trying to tie the game with that cut.
Absolutely. Again, the Rockies being very aggressive tonight. Jamie Quirk being very aggressive. 3-0 count, let him swing away. Thought he might get something he could handle, a good fastball, and hit it.
Good run away on that fastball of Contreras. Still a hitter's count. And Matt pops it up. Short center field, going out. Willie Harris coming in is Rowan, and the Rockies don't get a productive out, and that's out number 2. The answer to our Aflac question, the only Chicago White Sox player to lead the American League in RBIs, Big Frank, no, it wasn't. Dick Allen. And there's our favorite Dick Allen fan. Boy, that's the old Sox uniform. Dick Allen, Richie Allen.
Richie Allen. Bill Melton wore that uniform. I remember him playing third base for the Sox.
113 RBIs back in 1972.
Well, I would have sworn that Frank had more than that in one season.
Well, he might have had more, but he didn't lead. It was one of those trick questions. Garrett drives it. Get out of here, baseball. Gone to the bullpens. We're tied at 2. Or they said no, it hit off the top of the wall. I thought that hit over the wall and bounced back, but apparently hit right on the railing. Preston Wilson asking. Jamie Quirk going out now.
There's a back fence back there. I think it cleared the yellow fence, hit the back fence, and bounced back in. There's a back cyclone fence behind the barrier. And many times it'll hit that back fence and then bounce back onto the field, which I think that's what happened there.
Let's see if we can, well, we'll get a look at a replay and see as the conversation goes on out there at second base. I thought it was a home run.
I certainly did too. Again, I've seen that back fence knock it back in. That's one of the keys. Garrett Atkins put a great swing on it again. His best power is to right center, so he can really drive the ball. Let's see if we can see it here. I think it hit that back fence, Jack. What do you think?
I thought it was above the yellow line when it went over. I think it hit the back fence.
Yep. You can see that fence here. This is a great shot here.
Boy, now I can't tell.
No, I don't know. And that was, you can really see that back fence. Nope.
Oh yeah, it was over.
Yep.
Now the umpires are meeting as Jamie Quirk waits. Ed Montague is the crew chief. And Jerry Lane, the veteran umpire at first base. And now all 4 umpires are coming to talk to Jamie. It's an RBI double for sure. It should be a 2-run homer.
I don't think Jamie's getting the answer he wanted. He'd be gone by now.
And the Rockies are going to be denied a run. Well, you can definitely see that that ball goes over the yellow line and hits that back fence.
Boy, in that last shot, Jack, I don't know. It may have hit the yellow top.
Now you can see the reaction of the Rockies bullpen as well. It'll be an RBI double. Garrett Atkins delivers with 2 outs. And it's a 2-1 ball game now. And they're going to intentionally walk Danny Ardoin to pitch to BK Kim. That's usually what I do, and granted, sometimes a bullpen is going to try and help out their team, but I usually on those close plays look for the reaction of the bullpen.
Yeah, they jumped up and down.
So an intentional walk to Danny Ardoin will bring BK Kim to the plate. He grounded out his first time up, but the Rockies don't catch a break in this fourth inning. A couple of excuse me hits, score runs for Chicago, and the Rockies get one but deserve two. Two on and two out for Kim, and he'll bounce it up the third baseline. That'll go far.
Pretty good swing that time. Talking to Jeff early, he was trying to hit the ball to right center field during batting practice, not trying to do too much. So that's the yellow line.
No,
top the fence. I still have some questions. I don't know. I may have hit that top fence. I watched that one replay from up above center field there. I thought it may have hit the yellow padding and bounced back.
Pitch on the outside corner, says Paul Emmel, and it's 2 strikes. Rockies trailing by a run on a close call that could have tied it. Still got a chance here in the fourth. He hits it to right center field, but Jermaine Dye will almost misplay it. Good hit by BK. The Rockies get a run. We'll head to the 5th. Sox lead 2-1. 4 innings complete here in Denver on a beautiful evening. 20th and Blake. Rockies trailing at 2-1. BK Kim had a little more pop on that last out than I think Jermaine Dye thought. He nearly misplayed that ball.
Really, I was watching him in batting practice. That's all he was doing, was driving the ball to right center. Very similar to that. And you're right. I think and they play so shallow anyway. He almost got it over his head.
Our next email question from Helen in Denver. She wants to know, why is the hitch at the top of BK Kim's windup not considered a balk?
Well, first of all, it's the windup. There's nobody on base. Doesn't matter. That's the reason why.
That's a good explanation as Scott Podsednik takes a strike. If you notice, Helen, when there is a man on base, he's working from the stretch, so he doesn't have that. He can only balk when there are base runners. Getting ahead of Podsednik. The thing that's been tough for the Rockies, they have kept Podsednik relatively quiet so far in this series. But he's not the only one that can play Ozzie Guillen's smart ball, as we saw last inning. Not a bad idea there with the changeup, or an off-speed breaking ball, if you will, a little bit low.
He's a different pitcher when he's ahead in the count, as they all are.
First pitch strike is as good a strategy to employ as you could as a pitcher. This guy was just a phenomenal track and field athlete in high school in Texas. 2-2 on him now. Podsednik, I remember, Jay, when he was playing with the Brewers, we were talking one day. I mean, he had track scholarships from every big name track and field program in the country.
Yeah, if you're a track star in Texas high school, you're pretty good.
Look at the young man at Warner out of TCU right now, who won the 400 meters at the Olympics. A guy who I think he and Podsednik were in the same time frame in high school. Full count now on the leadoff hitter for the Sox, and the leadoff hitter for them here in this 5th inning. Interesting that for all of his speed, and he was a center fielder, he plays left field for Ozzie Guillen. But Ozzie said he likes how Aaron Rowan plays center field, and he just feels they're that much better having double the speed, if you will, in the outfield.
Well, Ricky Henderson played a lot of years in the left, and his great speed cut off a lot of balls to the gap and down the line, held them in singles, and Podsednik does that too.
Again, the payoff pitch, and strike 3 called. Paul Emmel waited a little bit, and I think that's why Podsednik's mad. Wasn't happy with the delayed call. Mark Seuscher's got an update at the studio on the Mets and the Astros. Mark.
Thank you, Jack. This is what you call finishing strong. Pedro Martinez, 9th inning against the Astros, and everybody will be looking. 12 strikeouts for Pedro, only gave up 2 hits, only walked 1, even had a no-hitter into the 7th. He's now 7-1.
He has been worth the price for the Mets so far in 2005. Mark, thank you. We're going to see Pedro. He did not pitch. He didn't pitch last year when the Red Sox came.
No, we did not see him here, no.
So perhaps we will. Now Ozzie Guillen coming to talk to Paul Emmel. Did he say that the ball hit the bat? I'm not sure why this conversation's going on. I thought the ball went back to the screen and it was called a ball, I guess. I don't know. Ozzie Guillen rolled his eyes like he wasn't happy.
Said it hit him.
Oh,
I
okay.
That's what he's saying.
I just couldn't understand why they kept showing the bat.
But you might be right. I mean,
the bat wasn't anywhere close to it.
No.
Well, Ozzie, who likes to talk, figures, I haven't talked to these guys on the field other than, and he didn't bring out the lineup card. He just wants to catch up. A bundle of energy as a player in the same way as a manager, and so far so good when you're winning 2 out of every 3 games you play.
Now Ozzie was holding his hands up like Emmel said maybe he bunted at it. That might be what he said.
Scoreboard has 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch inside again. Let's see if Paul makes it. Yeah, he did. He called it a strike before as he raises up the index finger on each hand. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's what he said. He said that Harris actually bunted at the ball for a strike.
This should be an easy play for Brad Hopp. And that's out number 2. Brad Hopp, who has worked so diligently with Dave Collins on improving his angles to the baseball. One thing to have that great throwing arm, but you got to get yourself in position to catch the ball to make the throws.
And it shows. He and Halladay both. Matt Halladay, I think, is a much better outfielder than he was when he first came up last year. Again, it goes back to hard work. A lot of fly balls.
2 outs here in the Chicago 5th. Dave Collins is such a quiet guy that I don't think that he gets as much credit as he deserves for his ability to teach the game. Very low key, not worrying about the spotlight, just likes being involved in the game. He was a very good player fundamentally.
Very good player.
And takes the same approach to his job as a coach for the Rockies. BK Kim, they wanted him to get at least 5. He's an out away from 5, and this should get it for him. Preston loping in, and that takes care of the 5th. Good 5 innings for BK Kim. The Rockies need to get a little more offense. They trail it here in Denver. 1 ball game midway through. Rockies will have the top of the order in the bottom of the 5th inning. Boy, the last 2 nights have just been spectacular here at the ballpark. Rockies hope to have a little more to show from their offense. Desi Relaford, one of the 2 hits, and Desi has hit the ball very well now that he has gotten a stretch of regular playing time. Batting well over 360. He and I talked when the Rockies were in Chicago at Wrigley. And he said he understood his situation, Jay. Just said, I'm a veteran, so I know that it is what it is. Didn't think Barmes had hit 400 for the first 6 weeks, but I'm going to stay ready, and he has.
He's done a great job defensively as well as with the bat. He made a nice play tonight in the 1st inning. Did a nice job.
He hits this one. Nice pick by Konerko. He'll flip it to Contreras, and not in time because the ball got away. Desi trying to get the second, and there'll be no throw.
Now that was an interesting play, to say the least.
I'll have to see where that ball ended up when Konerko flipped it.
It lodged in the webbing of his glove. You can see he was playing with the webbing of his glove there. It was stuck in there, so he flipped the glove with the ball in it. And Contreras couldn't catch it. That was pretty funny. See the ball in the webbing of the glove?
Yeah.
He flipped it, and then he didn't know what to do with it.
The ball came out as it was going by and hit Relaford. And then
right there.
That carried it up the line. And Desi alertly got to second base.
That's exactly right. Very quickly moving to scoring position.
All right, so for the official score, we're still going to wait and see. That is a tough one to call.
It was a smart play by Konerko to take the glove off and get it to him. It's just, I don't think the pitcher was anticipating this giant glove come flipping in the air to him. Looked like a bird coming in there.
It'll be a two-base error on Konerko, and there wasn't much else he could do, but the Rockies have the tying run in scoring position with nobody out. Gonzalez made an offer with the bunt try, and that's strike one.
And now again, learn how to make an out here. Need to know how to make an out, sacrifice, execute. That's the game.
The White Sox pitcher tomorrow night, Orlando Hernandez, El Duque, when he was with the Yankees, had that happen to him on the mound, and he threw his glove to Tino Martinez, who caught ball and glove for an out.
I just think it was difficult for Contreras because he was running to the bag. It wasn't wasn't standing there waiting for it.
Gonzalez was able to pull the bat back. Count evens. And
you never know.
Those gloves, you know, I mean, the first base glove, there are size limits, but you're going to make it as big as you can make it. And that ball was hit hard, and it was a short hop and stuck right in the glove. He couldn't pull it out.
He made a nice play on the backhand.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get that short hop because it was sizzled pretty good. Pretty well for the grammarians out there, and also pretty good. 1-1, and Luis can't get the bunt down. Boy, at times the Rockies are solid fundamentally, and other times it has you shrugging your shoulders. And Luis is one of the better bunters on the team in terms of getting the sacrifice to advance a runner. Now he's got to still make something productive so that he can at least get Relaford to third. Creedy, as you see, has backed up at third base. Know who decided they took too much time, but we'll take a break, do it all over again. Contreras, who spent a good deal of his time in the Yankees with his family, not allowed to leave Cuba. Pop up foul, and the wind will push it. Not that there's much of a breeze, but enough spin on the ball anyway to take it out of play. A lot of people think, Jay, that the family situation on top of all the pressure of pitching for the Yankees really impacted on his performance in New York.
No doubt. Two things happened to him that were very good for his career. One, his family didn't make it over, and two, traded to Chicago last July 31st. That's when things began to turn around a little bit for him. Though he pitched well for the Yankees at times, just not as consistent as you mentioned. That is a tough market to pitch in.
With outside pressures as well.
Yep.
Waved at that off-speed breaking ball and a big strikeout for Contreras. Here's our Pizza Hut Call of the Week featuring that guy.
Helton Roach at base hit. Barmes around third, coming to the plate. Here's the throw. Barmes safe at the plate. Todd Helton has come through and tied it up.
That was against the Cardinals. Todd with a chance to tie up this game if he can deliver a hit here. With Desi Relaford at second base, Todd has walked and grounded out. Line drive to Creedy. Boy, Todd hit that on the screws, but right at the third baseman.
And what he wanted to do, went the other way with it. Perfect. You just can't aim it. All you can do is hit it hard, which is what he did. Took that pitch away from him and drove it hard to just right at him.
Greedy enough off the line, Jay.
Yep, an atom ball. Yeah, exactly. That's a right-handed hit. It's probably a base hit, but that's, as a left-handed batter, they were up. Greedy was right there. Easy catch, really.
So now the Rockies need a 2-out hit. They got a 2-out double that might have been a home run from Garrett Atkins to score Preston Wilson in the 4th inning. And Preston looks at a strike in this at bat. He has struck out and singled, scored the Rockies run.
You have to watch now. The outfield is so shallow, especially as you mentioned, Podsednik on the left. A base hit to left. If it's hit hard, Desi Relaford's going to have to really run to score. He's not very deep out there. He's going to charge hard on any base hit.
Contreras has gotten a lot more deliberate with Relaford, the runner, at second base. 2 outs here in the 5th. Good off speed. The change of pace again by Contreras. That time the splitter stayed up, but the speed change still was enough to be successful.
As you mentioned, he'll throw that at different speeds, and that's besides the movement, which is very, very good. It's the speed change, and that's in that rocking chair again. You're moving forward, you're moving backwards. Now he's got a 0-2. He's a very tough pitcher at 0-2.
Trying to wiggle out of the air that got Relaford to second to start the inning.
Again, it goes back to not being able to execute the bunt. That's the key to the inning right now. They had pitched Todd a little different with a runner on 3rd and 1 out. They might even have walked him. I mean, it changes the whole inning. So you've got to execute. You've got to get the runner on 2nd, no one out, and get him over 3rd.
So no bunt, and then ultimately the strikeout, and then the line drive out by Helton. Preston trying to deliver down 2 strikes. Relaford almost headed towards 3rd, but Brzezinski smothered that enough to keep it around home plate. Contreras has a pitch count much higher than BK Kim. Kim at 66 pitches unofficially by my count through 5 innings. Contreras at 87. And they've got 85 officially up on the board, but he's got the lead. Strike 3 called on a curveball on the inside corner. Contreras with a pair of strikeouts, and he strands a man in scoring position. He is fan 5. The Sox lead it 2-4 at 4 only on FSN or Rocky Mountain. And Jose is certainly making the circuit, that's for sure. The Rockies trail by a run. Jack Corrigan along with Jay Alvis, glad you could join us. The young Kim has pitched superbly. The guy at the plate, Paul Konerko, started the only bump on the night. He doubled and scored the first of 2 runs for Chicago back in the 4th inning. Matt Anderson would be the first guy in line for the Rockies tonight if Kim starts to tire, and into the 6th inning. After the 5th, that's what Jamie Quirk told us. He would watch almost hitter by hitter, and Matt Anderson working to get ready behind Kim, who has a 2-strike count on Konerko, and got him. Let's check in with Keith Pliers somewhere here in Coors Field.
I am always somewhere, that is for sure, Jack. Section 139 to be precise, on a beautiful night at Coors Field with Bradley and Lisa. This is a nightly occurrence. A gentleman, a baseball fan, teaching a woman how to keep score, or maybe it's the other way around. I'm not sure, but let's as Jermaine Dye steps in, let's give a pop quiz to Lisa. Lisa, why would I write down a backwards K in my scorebook?
Well, a backwards K is to indicate that the batter has struck out looking.
Right, never took the bat off his shoulder, like Jermaine Dye right there, although that pitch was inside, moving the count to 2-0. One more. Every player out here is assigned a number. If a ball is hit to right field and an out is registered, what do you put down in your scorebook?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What number is the right fielder?
9.
Very good. You are learning very quickly. Guys, before we toss it back up to the booth, I know that Drew Goodman has the night off tonight, and that's why you're filling in, Jack, and doing a great job. But I know Drew Goodman last night spoke a lot about Luke Hochevar, who is the kid from Fowler High School, the University of Tennessee pitcher, who was expected to be drafted quite high. He was top 10 talent, no question about that. The Rockies were looking at him. There was a big spread in the Rocky Mountain News. He did not go in the top 10. He fell all the way to number 40, was a selection of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and some people may wonder why, as Jermaine Dye fouls off another pitch. He signed with the, shall we say, combative and stubborn agent Scott Boras. And I was talking to Bill Schmidt, the scouting director for the Rockies, just about an hour ago, and he admitted that you take a gamble when you sign with Scott Boras these days. And one of the reasons that Luke Hochevar fell all the way down to number 40 is teams were afraid he would be difficult to sign. So good luck to the Dodgers, and good luck to Luke, of course, as well.
All right, Keith. Desi Relaford takes care of Jermaine Dye, and that's out number 2. And it wasn't just the Rockies. He was the 40th pick. The sandwich picks between the first and second round, Jay, that says a lot about the Boras influence.
Every club passed on him. Every single club passed on him, and it's all about signability. Tracy Ringlesby was talking about that in the pregame show, and that's why he fell to 40. That's why Scott Baker and with the Rockies fell to the 4th round the year we took Scott Baker out of Clemson. So it is a factor, no doubt.
2 outs, nobody on, as BK Kim, I would say without question, has earned another start. Jay, 7 strikeouts and 5 2/3 innings. He is a different guy, like we talked.
When I said Baker, I meant Jeff Baker, certainly, and he is a different guy when he starts. This guy's a different pitcher.
Well, and with the Rockies looking to find some stability in the rotation, Kim trying to put his hat into the ring, saying, hey, how about me? He's ahead in the count now on Przinsky with 2 outs here in the 6th. And the only issue for BK right now, as Jamie Quirk said before the ball game, Jay, was just how deep he can get into a game, because he's been a reliever for so long.
Done a nice job. 82 pitches, always ahead in the count. That was one thing I mentioned at the start of the show, was that if he's ahead in the count, his stuff's good enough. The average is down against him. It's just throwing strikes.
2-1 Rockies with 2 outs here in the 6th. Kim trying to finish it off and hope that the team can put a couple of runs on the board in the bottom of the inning. Matt Anderson, we showed you before, throwing in the bullpen. He's probably going to come on and work the 7th. Good jam job there. I don't know how Przinsky got a piece of that one. Count holds at 1 and 2.
I think he hit it with his belt. It's just a different pitcher when you're ahead. Watch this thing just slide inside on him. Fastball. Yeah, you got a piece off the foot.
Little guy shakes off a couple from Danny Ardoin.
Coming back in.
Oh, broke his bat on another. Kim slings it to Todd Helton. Boy, 6 fine innings by the little Korean. Rockies trying to rally for him. They trailed 2-1. To the 6th inning, Jack Corrigan along with Jay Alvis, and our Charles Schwab player profile is about a guy who is certainly being called a player's manager right now. Second youngest in the big leagues, and a guy who had a pretty good big league career and trying to take that energy into a managerial position now.
Originally signed by the San Diego Padres, and they had a guy playing shortstop there, and they needed to trade him for Chicago, a guy named Ozzie Smith. Played a little shortstop for the Padres then, so Ozzie traded for the White Sox. Wound up being Rookie of the Year in '85 for them in the American League.
Brad Hopp will lead it off for the Rockies against Jose Contreras, who has worked out of a couple of jams, allowing just the 1 run, and a controversial play when the Rockies got their run, whether Garrett Atkins' RBI double might have been an RBI homer that bounced back right near the top railing at the bullpen area out in right field. If you like to keep score, and we had the young lady who was keeping score out in the stands, they have made an adjustment on that play with Desi Relaford last inning when he hit it at Paul Konerko, and Konerko had to throw his glove to try and get him out. Brad bounces it towards Willie Harris, and he'll flip it to Konerko for the first out and give Relaford a hit now, and then an error that allowed him to get to second.
And I think that's the right call, because that's a tough play for the pitcher with the glove coming at him.
Here's another question online from Scott in Loveland, and what's he say? How hard is it transitioning from radio to television? Well,
only you can answer that. I've been at TV all night now.
Well, 17 years of TV, and well, it is different though. It's a good question, Scott. I think what happens is you have to try and back off on the TV side and not be too descriptive.
You can watch it, you can see it, so I agree with that totally.
But you know, the game is fun, radio or TV. It's been a lot of fun. Jeff Kingery and myself filling in for Drew periodically, and we'll do it a few other times this season. And Jay and I have never had a chance to work together, so that is a lot of fun. There's my partner over on the radio side.
He'll be back over here.
He'll be back next to bring you the last 3 innings. 1 and 2 now, the count on Matt Holliday. But thank you for the question, Scott. We got activity going now out in the bullpen for the White Sox. We'll see if we can get a line on who that gentleman is.
Neil Kotz, left-hander.
1-2 pitch to Matt, swung on and missed. Boy, just like last night, the Rockies right-handed hitters, whether it's the splitter or the slider of Freddie Garcia, they have come up empty a lot of times. 6 strikeouts for Contreras, 10 last night for Garcia.
Much like Kim, he's ahead in the count. When these guys are ahead in the count, they can put you away.
Here's Garrett Atkins, who knocked in the Rockies' run. Was it a home run or not? I thought it was.
I still can't tell. But again, Garrett doing what he does best. When he's hitting the ball to the gaps, and he's a gap hitter, as they say. That's really when he's swinging the bat good. He's got his average on a slow climb here. Now this guy can hit. He's a very patient hitter, and he's a good line drive hitter, especially in this ballpark. He's going to be a 300 career hitter.
15 RBIs on the year, 5 of those over the last 5 games. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. There's Neil Kotz, the left-hander. And this White Sox bullpen's not too bad either. Their starting rotation is terrific.
It's very good, very deep. The other guy out there, Marte, throws about 96 miles an hour.
We saw Takatsu last night, and then Dustin Hermanson
throws about 97. Yeah. And they're very, very good.
And Hermanson just figures out a way to beat you as the closer.
It's Cliff Polite sitting right next to him. Polite, I think.
Polite, right. Yeah. 3-1 now, the count on Atkins, trying to get something going with 2 outs. Contreras nearing 100 pitches. The thing that has helped Ozzie Guillen this year is starting rotation averaging 6 2/3 innings per start.
That's huge. That's to set your whole club up. It's a pitching staff.
And we have seen, Jay, in the games when the Rockies get 7 good innings from the starters, and then you can go to Watasic and Fuentes of late, and that's the setup you want to have.
Exactly. It allows you to use your bullpen exactly as you started the season, the way you want it to.
Jammed him, and it'll be an easy pop-up to Willie Harris. Well, I've enjoyed it, Jay.
Thank you, Jack. Good
Jeff
to see you.
Kingery will be heading back for the 7th. After 6, the Sox continue to lead the Rockies by 1.
Sox leading this one 2-1, trying to make it 2 in a row over the Rockies. Jeff Kingery back with you, along with Jay Alvis, for the final 3 innings or more if needed. Rockies will do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes to win. New pitcher in now for the Rocks, Matt Anderson, and he's done a nice job since coming up from Colorado Springs. Throws very hard. Again, command issues at times with 5 walks in his 3 2/3 innings, but he throws very hard. Probably the hardest thrower on the staff at this point. 95 all the time, and he'll touch 97 at times. But #1 pick in the country. Talking about the draft, he's #1 pick in the country by the Tigers at one point.
He had a 22 save season with the Tigers, so no stranger to working late in ball games. Rockies right now, Jay, hoping that he could be the 7th inning guy when they've got those leads.
What they'd like to see.
Juan Uribe 0 for 2 He struck out twice. Nice job by Byung-Hyun Kim tonight. 7 strikeouts to match his career high. Did that a couple of years ago with Arizona. Pitch is inside. Anderson falling behind. That was, I thought, Jay, one of the keys to Kim's performance tonight. Just the 1 walk.
Without a doubt, we talked early, Jeff, when you were here earlier, and about command and throwing strikes. He did that all night. Matt Anderson needs to do that here, and that's been Matt's problem too. Command issues.
2 runs, 3 hits for Kim. The 1 walk, the 7 strikeouts, and I think he gave the Rockies a bonus inning. Jamie Quirk told us before the game he wanted 5 good ones. He got 6. The pitch in there for a strike, and Uribe not real happy with that one. Matt Anderson trying to fight back after falling behind 3-0.
And unfortunately for Kim, and they bunched those 3 hits that they did get all back to back to back, and that's why they scored those 2 runs.
Left-hander working for the Rockies, Bobby C. Rockies have just 5 hits tonight. They were able to get 2 of them in the 4th inning, get their run. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that one is low. Another email for us, and this one is specifically to you, Jay, from Lee in Nebraska. He says, I have not heard anybody talk about Tim Olson. He was also brought up from the Sky Sox. What can you tell me about him?
Well, Tim's out of North Dakota and actually played with the Arizona Diamondbacks last year. He got some big league time in with them last year, and then signed as a minor league free agent by the Rockies. Spent the spring with us. I call him Grand Slam Timmy because he hit 2 grand slams during our spring training session, and then arrived last night. Middle infielder, big guy with some power.
Here's Joe Creedy. Hit by a pitch his first time. You know, the funny thing in spring training was, you know, he hit one day, and you go, oh, that was nice. You know, that'll open a few eyes. And then it wasn't too many days later that he belted the second one.
That was up in Scottsdale, if I remember correctly. And yeah, he had a nice spring. I think it opened some eyes. You know, you see guys in spring training do some things.
Todd with a nice sliding catch on that bunt. And Uribe scrambling back to first base. Is there anybody more aggressive that you have seen in the game than Todd Helton charging a bunt?
I always compare him to Keith Hernandez, who did that job with the Cardinals and Mets, and somebody I grew up with. And Keith was very, very aggressive on charging the bunts and making the throws to the different bases. And Todd's very similar.
Big reaction from the crowd as Frank Thomas is going to come up and pinch hit now for Contreras.
Big Frank.
Big Frank getting a chance to bat. Of course, the White Sox hurt when they play interleague games in the National League Park. Thomas would be DHing, or Carl Everett, one of the 2. This is the first time we've seen either one of them in the series.
And Drew and I talked about that last night. Interleague play, when the American League clubs come to the National League parks, it really changes the dynamics of their lineup. You put a Frank Thomas in this lineup, and wow, it's a different lineup. It really does. It's much deeper, and you can do some different things.
Nobody has more homers in White Sox history than Frank Thomas. Big man hurt early. Runner goes. Pitch a strike. Arduan scored second. The tag. They got it.
We talked about his arm earlier. He can catch and throw it. Boy, I'll tell you what. Danny Arduan, that's what his strength is, and you just saw it. Just the exchange from his glove to the hand. Now watch how quick he is with that exchange from his glove. Boom, boom, and the ball's on its way, and it's right there. You can't throw it any better than that. Boom.
Luis Gonzalez with a nice swipe tag. That's the second out of the inning. The base is empty now for Thomas, who takes another one for a strike, and it's 1-2.
That's huge. It wipes out the leadoff walk, so that's a big play.
Thomas with 437 career homers. Harold Baines second on the Sox list with 221. The pitch a little bit high. Tell you also, Jay, J.D. Closter's thrown out 1 man. That was at second earlier on this homestand. Todd Green threw out a runner at third. Here's Danny Arduan in his first start, and he nails a base runner. Pitch a little bit high. So 2 outs. Thomas trying to stay sharp, saying earlier today he spent a lot of time in the hitting cage here. Pitch strike 3 call. Nice finish for Matt Anderson, and a big throw out by Danny Arduan. The Rockies still short on this one, though. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. 2-1. The White Sox have the lead. The Rockies will have Danny Light. Game reset. Boy, a battle tonight between two starters who were shot. Young Kim getting a career-high 7 punch-outs, and Jose Contreras allowing just 5 hits. You got Preston Wilson there. Desi Relaford going down. Rockies' only run to this point. Garrett Atkins with a drive. Was it out? Was it off the top of the fence? Preston Wilson scored the run. It's 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Jay, new pitcher for Chicago.
Left-hander Neil Kotson, not a hard thrower, mostly change-ups. In fact, he's more effective against right-handed batters than left-handers, and that's why, because of that great change-up that he has.
He'll get Danny Ardoin here leading things off. And then we'll get a pinch hitter for Matt Anderson, who finished strong. Eddie Garabito has come out to the on-deck circle to hit for Matt. Danny tonight, an intentional walk and a single, and he's thrown out a man.
Done a nice job. Kotz has not allowed a home run this year in his first 20-plus innings. He's very tough again on right-handers, more so than lefties.
The 1-1 up high, and Ardoin couldn't hold up. Hit .338 in his time at Colorado Springs. That was 6th in the Pacific Coast League.
Last 2 seasons, he's really swung the bat very well. Done a nice job at AAA. Now he needs to do it up here.
That's strike 3 called, and Kotz gets the first man he faces. Another email for us, and this one comes from Lou in Thornton. He writes, what is Aaron Miles' status?
Well, he has that strained muscle in the rib cage area, and those things take a while to heal. And he's probably a ways off yet. I can't give an exact date, but he is on the disabled list. And as Tim Olson steps in there, and Aaron's still a ways off. Those are rib cage strains don't heal real quickly.
Now Dustin Moore is going to be the pinch hitter. Eddie Garabito had been out on deck, and I think had Ardoin reached, they would have gone with Garabito, thinking sacrifice, but now Dustin Moore has that ability to yank the ball out of the yard. Four homers for Dustin this year. Limited duty. Kotz throwing strikes here in the 7th inning. Rockies running out of outs. They're down by a run, and Dustin Hermanson has taken over the closer job for the White Sox, and he's 13 for 13, so something to consider as we get even later into this game.
He just scored a run off him for the first time last week in Cleveland. He had not given up any runs, so that's how effective he's been. This guy Kotz looks pretty sharp. His stuff's very crisp.
More activity for the White Sox in their bullpen. Cliff Polite throwing now. Kotz has been tough. Last 8 appearances, he's allowed just a run in 8 innings. One of those setup men to get it to Hermanson. The pitch inside that time. Moore hanging tough at 2-2.
And Jack and I were talking earlier, Jeff, about how the starters have been so good for the White Sox. They've rested this bullpen and given them a chance to get their rest and be very effective.
And Contreras gave him the 6 strong ones tonight, left with the lead. Jay Witasick now working in the Rockies bullpen. Bobby C still out there, so they've got a left-hander and a right-hander working. Two. Got him. High fastball. Another email for you. This one coming from Caroline in Arvada. Will Barmes still be considered a rookie when he returns next season?
No, he will not. He had too many at-bats and too much time in the big leagues. Over 225 at-bats at this point for Clint. So that's too many at-bats. He will not be a rookie. He'll be a second-year player.
Wonder how many teams have lost a probable rookie of the year, at least the way he had started, and yet have 2 more potential rookie of the year candidates playing as well as Francis and Hopp are right now.
I can't imagine too many.
Here's Desi Relaford. He's got a couple of hits tonight. Season average on the way up at 324. Pitch a little bit high. In that 5th inning, one of the weird plays of the season with that ball stuck in the webbing of Konerko's glove, and he threw it over there. They originally called it a 2-base error. Then they gave Relaford a hit, and when he went to second on the play, they gave Konerko an error for that. Pitch in there for a strike. Boy, Kotz is dealing here in the 7th inning, trying to make it a 1-2-3.
This is a typical White Sox game. Very closely played. Good defense. Good pitching. Timely hitting. 3 hits. They all came together. It's just how the White Sox, I think, have really won a lot of games this year by playing this way. And they'll win the close games.
Indeed, they will. 1-run games. The White Sox have won 18 and dropped 7. It's one of the big reasons they've won 2 out of every 3 they've played this year. Comeback. Going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Kotz, and he does his job in the 7th inning. Contreras gave him 6. Sox had the lead, and Kotz put the Rockies down in order. It's just not a Jeep. We're going to the 8th inning. New pitcher coming on for the Rockies, be the 3rd one of the night, the left-hander Bobby C. And Jay just off the disabled list.
Making just his 2nd appearance with the Rockies now since he was injured back in April. Did not pitch well his first time back, so let's see, maybe get his feet on the ground here a little bit. Good pot set.
Top of the order. Pods tonight 0 for 3, so the Rockies have done a good job keeping him off the bases. All 3 of those at bats against Kim. Willie Harris would be next, another left-handed batter, and he is on deck, even though they have Taguchi who could go the other way. Pitch fouled away. Then Aaron Rowan due up 3rd in the inning. Bobby C. had a long travel day to get to the Rockies in time to pitch over the weekend. Got into a big jam on Sunday, and Brian Fuentes, Blaine Neal able to bail him out after that. There's a bunt try. Arduan fields it, foul ball.
Hey Jeff, remember now to come to the ballpark early this Friday, because this weekend starts early. The Rocks at Coors Field, 3:05 first game, or actually only game on that day, but a 3:05 first game. You can come to the park for peanuts for only $20. You get 2 field level tickets, 2 packs of peanuts, a parking pass, and a game program. This offer is good only every Friday. 3:05 Friday game. We have 3 this year, June, July, and August. Don't miss this one. This is a great deal.
I think I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm going to be here a little. Well, actually, I've got to go to take my son for orientation at the University of Arizona, but I'll be listening.
Now there's father like son, or son like the father. You went to the U of A.
Yeah, he liked that school for some reason. I'm not quite sure. He loves the heat like his father, so he'll be at Tucson beginning of August.
So when I signed on today, it was 93 in Tucson at about 5 o'clock. Here's the 2-2. Going to be a play for Luis Gonzalez. And there's out number 1 here in the 8th. Another email for us from JB in Denver. Question about interleague play. Since they don't see each other too much, do pitchers have the advantage over hitters?
Well, in my mind, I think pitchers always have the advantage over the hitters. And when because when you're hitting 300, you're really good. That means pitchers are hitting 700, and that's bad. So it tells you, I would think so. If you don't see them too often, although we see the White Sox quite a bit in spring training, I think that does help a little bit.
I think that was one of the pluses for the Rockies going in, as well as the Sox, that you had a chance to actually face these pitchers. Willie Harris will bat lefty against lefty, and no play that time for Matt Holliday. I think you can only watch so much videotape. I remember a game a couple of years ago when Kazuhisa Ishii was going to pitch for the first time against the Rockies, and everybody in that clubhouse was around that TV watching him pitch, and they had no idea when they got on the field just how big a break he had on his off-speed stuff. So you need to really see it, and the Rockies did have a chance to see a lot of these Sox pitchers. Ground ball back up the middle. Desi, nice pick. Throw on the run. Got him. Pretty play.
Oh, that was nice. The rap was that he didn't have enough range. I think you see a tremendous range here by Desi Relaford. And the key to it, his first step, as it is when the outfield. That first step, if you get that great jump, that ball was hit well and up the middle. He made a nice play, came way over. Nice pick, and then making a tough throw. That's that angle that the shortstop has to make. Watch the angle he has to do with his throw. He's going towards right field. That's a throw back. and gets something on it and gets a fast runner from the left side of the box. That's a nice job.
Pitching change coming here too. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies or else. Pitching change now. The Rockies will take out the lefty with a right-handed batter coming up. More after this. C did his job, got the 2 left-handed batters, and now with Scott Rowan or Aaron Rowan, a tough man coming up, the right-hander Jay Watasik on. Been busy this season. And a base hit, so much for the percentages, Joe.
Well, Jay comes back after having that fingernail ripped off his finger and just had a fake one put on today, and it's his first appearance since. And I would imagine it's a little different. He hasn't been out there in a while, but just having that fingernail ripped off and then the replacement put on there just today, I guess it grew long enough to be able to put a replacement on top.
That gives Scott Rowan or Aaron Rowan. Why do I keep saying Scott Rowan? I'd be darned if I know. Aaron Rowan has a 12-game hitting streak now, and Paul Konerko coming up. Double tonight. He has scored one of those runs.
The Rockies' pen needs to match what the White Sox are doing. Keep it a 1-run game. Keep the club in it. Jays needs to get the out here. It's a big out. This is a big pitch right here. Big at bat.
The pitch. Good breaking ball, but just a little bit low. He actually has a artificial fingernail on the top of his own fingernail.
Right.
Boy, can you imagine the torque in throwing that slider or that fastball to actually tear the nail off? That's what happened. Throw to first, pretty close.
They'll use super glue on it, all kinds of different things to keep it from doing that. And Jay was saying, I was talking to him in the clubhouse one day, and just said, some season it's never a bother. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 times it does it. It just really depends. He never really knows.
2-1 game. Watasik trying to get the last out. Tough hitter with Paul Konerko up there, and then the Rockies in the bottom of the 8th. If you look ahead to that, Gonzalez, Helton, and Wilson. The 1-0. Off the dish.
Remember John Thompson, former Rockies right-hander, now with Atlanta, and he had this fingernail problem. He wound up having it completely removed in surgery. Had the fingernail removed because it was constantly a bother.
And he tried all kinds of things. I remember, you use pickle brine, you use stuff that the greyhound racing dogs would have put on the bottom of their feet to keep the paws from cracking. There's a million remedies out there, and you never know what's going to work. A bluff. Now a snap throw to first, and they got it. They got Roland Strain, and Danny Ardoin throws out his second man on the bases tonight. The inning is over. Nice play, and the Rockies keep it a 1-run game. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. It's 2-1.
Damn Sports Show period after the post game on FSN.
Our game summary, and it's really come down to what the starting pitchers did tonight. The White Sox getting 2 off Young Kim, and the Rockies only able to get 1 off Jose Contreras, and it's now turned over the bullpens. Neil Kotz, who had that 1-2-3 7th with a couple of strikeouts, will start the 8th. He'll get Gonzalez, then Helton, the left-hander, and then Preston Wilson.
He continues to pump strikes in there, does Kotz, and it's going to make him tough.
Brzezinski wants this one on the inside. He got it there. It's a dribbler. Good pitch by Kotz. Really jammed him. Let's check in with Keith Blyer one more time. Keith.
I have found the best outfitted Rockies fan in the entire ballpark tonight. What's your name?
Jordan.
How old are you, Jordan?
7.
Jordan, you have the cleats on. You've got the socks on. You've got the Rockies pants on. The Rockies jersey. The Rockies hat. And even the shades. You look very... Who's your favorite player?
Clint Barmas.
You look very Clint Barmas, and we did learn one thing this week, okay, regarding Clint Barmas. Anytime your mom asks you to bring the groceries in from the car, you say, no, I'm protecting the future of the Rockies franchise because we don't want you breaking a bone, okay?
Okay.
All right, Jordan, one minor adjustment, though, to the outfit. What am I doing now?
Raleigh?
That's called a rally cap. You got it. Say go Rockies.
Go Rockies.
Back to the booth.
All right, Keith. Thanks to Jordan.
Well, he's missing is the belt. I didn't see the belt on.
Oh, that'd be a fine in kangaroo court.
Yeah,
then. Helton with a chance to tie it first. You better have a sense of self-preservation.
Todd had a very good swing. That first pitch was an outstanding swing. This one was right over his head.
Just a bit.
I'm retiring after that pitch. I'm shutting it down. That's it for me. Thanks. It's been a great career. It's right over his helmet.
Todd got hit on the hand last night. 0 for 2 tonight. He has walked.
He had a good swing that first swing. He put a real good swing that first pitch. Did it again.
Cott's ahead now in the count. Todd looking for his first hit in the series. Such a strange year for Todd. I mean, started out cold, then got red hot, got his average up around 340. Now back the other side of the roller coaster. Got him. Boy, Neil Kotz has been tough tonight. More email for us, Jay. Bobby in Colorado Springs writing in, why did the Rockies draft another shortstop today when they have Barmes and last year's first-round pick Chris Nelson?
Draft the best player available. And who knows when he gets there. I think that young man answered the phone or answered the question today when he went on a conference call with the writers saying Clint Barmes is in the major leagues. I still have to get there. We'll see what happens when I reach there.
Yeah, this is not an exact science. I mean, if we check back in 3 or 4 years, we may see where a Troy Tulowitzki is in the big leagues.
Yeah, it's not like football where you draft a left tackle and he turns into a fullback. I mean, guys do change positions. Gary Sheffield, kind of like Chris Nelson, was drafted as a shortstop. Played some shortstop his first early years. Now he's an outfielder. I think people think he's always been an outfielder. He was an infielder as a kid.
We'll leave the left-hander Kotz in to face Preston Wilson, and Kotz ahead 0-2. He's trying to make it 6 up, 6 down at a perfect 7th. First 2 men here in the 8th. Meanwhile, Brian Fuentes is warming up for the Rockies. Pitch, strike 3 called. Kotz strikes out 4. 2 perfect innings in the book trying to protect this lead for Contreras. White Sox lead. Let's go to the studio. Mark Soicher is there. Mark, what's coming up after our ball game tonight?
Well, Jeff, we'll give you the complete post-game coverage. We always do, our all-access pass. We'll hear from the pride of Park Hill, who's going for back-to-back NBA MVPs in the finals, plus the trip to the Strip for the Crush, how advice from a certain number 7 might help them in the Arena Bowl. That's after the ball game is done at 20th and Blake, guys.
All right, Mark, we'll look forward to that. Number 7.
Who could that be?
Jeez. Hey, nice to see Chauncey Billups going back to the finals, too, in the NBA, huh?
Very nice.
He's had a good run.
Denver native. Good player.
Paul Konerko was at the plate when Aaron Rowan strayed off first base, and Danny Ardoin picked him off. Danny has thrown out a man tonight trying to steal second. That was Juan Uribe in the 7th inning. Then he gets Rowan straying off first in the 8th. He's also had a single tonight, drawn an intentional walk. Pretty good Rockies debut for the catcher. Jay Watasek came on in the 8th inning, still around.
Konerko's looking to do one thing here, and that's hit it out of the ballpark. Give the White Sox that extra run. Jay's got to keep it in on him. The soft stuff away, which was that slider right there, was down and away from. It was a good pitch, and then he's got to come in on his hands and keep him from getting extended and driving the ball.
Pitch, strike. Konerko's double in the 4th was hit number 1,000 in his career. There was a time with the Dodgers. They didn't really think he was going to amount to much. Then he went to the Reds.
They gave up on him.
Yeah. All of a sudden, 6+ seasons now on the south side, and he's become a star. Another breaking ball down and in. Dye and Przynski to follow. One, 2. A little bit low. Kim worked 6 innings tonight, his sharpest performance by far. Matt Anderson a scoreless 7th. C and Watasek a scoreless 8th, and Jay working the 9th right now. 2-2. Look out. A little over 21,000 tonight paid, 21,576. More than a few of them cheering for the White Sox. The payoff pitch. Good breaking ball. He went, and Konerko's out of there. Here's the Sonic. Good replay. Danny Ardoin is the guy we're going to look at. And Danny Ardoin with a couple of big plays. This is the throw out of Juan Uribe in the 7th inning. Yeah, he was pumped up a little bit. Here's the pickoff now in the 8th inning. They get Aaron Rowan. Pretty good Rockies debut for Danny Ardoin.
I think Jay's having problems with that fingernail again. That's what it looks like. They're going to take him out right here.
Yep, he's going to have to leave. Brian Fuentes had been warming up a little bit earlier. And Brian's going to make that trek in from the bullpen. So we've got a pitching change here. Back in a moment. 9th inning, Sox hanging on by 1. Pitcher of the night for the Rockies coming on, Brian Fuentes. He would get as much time normally as he would need, Jay, to warm up, but since he has been warming up, I don't think it's going to take him that much time to get ready on the mound.
No, I don't think so. He'll be ready fairly quickly here. He's had very good success of late. Brian is pitching with a lot of confidence. I think you see him throwing a lot more strikes. His last 9 games, he's 1-0 with 5 saves, a 1.93 earned run average, and then 12 strikeouts in 9 1/3 innings. Says a lot about that too. But again, very confident pitcher at this point.
Well, Todd Green is one of the guys that has had a very positive effect on Brian Fuentes, telling him, you've got that good slider, don't be afraid to throw it. And Fuentes has taken that advice to heart, it seems like, and he has had a nasty breaking ball those last couple of games he saved against the Reds.
I really like it, and what he's done with it too is take something off it, put something on it, changing speeds with it. It makes it a very, very effective pitch versus both lefties and righties.
So 1 out. Here's Dye, who has singled in a run, scored the other. The other run, the go-ahead run in this game. 2-1 Sox in the 9th. And Fuentes throwing a lot of strikes as of late. Starts off Dye with 1. Dye with 4 hits in the series now. He's had a big one working. Rockies looking to the bottom of the 9th. We'll give it a good shot. They'll have Hop, Holiday, and Atkins. And Fuentes trying to ensure that it's a 1-run game. Strike called, and now it's Jermaine Dye's turn to be a little annoyed with the home plate umpire, Paul Emmel.
Brian's a little different. He throws hard for a guy who slings it like that. Most guys don't throw that hard to come from that angle.
The 1-2. Blue, and Hop's going to have to play it on bounce.
Oh, he made a great pitch there, jammed him, and he just was able to fight it off and push it in the right field. It's a great pitch by Brian. You can't do much more than that.
Second hit of the game for Dye, and now we'll get Przinsky. We talked about this earlier. Led the major leagues in grounding into double plays his last season, playing with the Giants a year ago, and Rockies could use one right here. Dustin Hermanson with those 13 saves, and they've come in 13 opportunities. Takatsu had 8 saves early, and Hermanson has claimed that role. Przinsky trying to bunt. Sox looking for a run here. There's already 1 out. Uribe will be next.
He starts him off with that strike. Now you can take that slider we're talking about and throw it off the plate a little bit, see if we'll chase it.
Yep, a little too far off.
Yep.
Ball and a strike. Przinsky driving in the go-ahead run at this point. That single in the 4th came after Dye's RBI single, and then Dye stole second. Rode home on the Przinsky hit. There's a good breaking ball down and away, and Przinsky overmatched for that one.
That's tough. Tough pitch to hit when you're batting left-hand. He's coming at you from the angle. He comes at you and then takes a little something off it and drops it in the location, as you mentioned, Jeff. It's perfect.
Trying to get him, and a throw over to first. Dye runs well in terms of steals with that one tonight. He's 4 for 5. Danny Ardoin's already thrown out one trying to steal second. We'll see if he'll be going on 1-2. He's not. And the pitch is strike 3 called. See ya. 2 down.
Looking for the breaking ball. Threw the fastball right by him. He's looking for that hard breaking ball, and look at this. Right down the middle.
Nothing you can do. No time to react if you're thinking off speed. That'll bring up Uribe. He is fanned twice. Both of those at bats against Kim, who matched his career best with 7 tonight. Then he walked in the 7th against Matt Anderson, but was thrown out by Danny Ardoin trying to steal. See if Dye will go here. Pretty much the last chance for the Sox here in the 9th. The pitch in there for a strike, and Dye was not going.
Ozzie likes to run in these situations. Ozzie Guillen, the manager. It wouldn't surprise me. He took off here, tried to steal a run.
Brian looking right at Dye, trying to freeze him there. Pitch foul back. Sox ran away in the middle innings last night. It was close early. They won it 9-3. This one going right to the wire. Hermanson's ready in the Sox bullpen. He'll work the bottom of the 9th. Uribe gets right up on that plate. Staying alive.
Just got a piece of that one. Another good pitch from Brian Fuentes.
Rockies trying to rally. They've had a few dramatic ones here at Coors Field. Opening day, of course, when they scored 4 in the 9th off Hoffman. Had a dramatic couple of games against the Cardinals. Sweep of the Reds.
A very good team tough tonight. Very good team tonight. Bullpen's done a nice job. Starter did a good job. This is a very good team Chicago's brought in here, and the Rockies are playing them straight up.
Yep. Here's the 0-2. Got him. Uribe out number 3. Rockies with one more shot at it. They'll have Brad Hopp, then Matt Holliday, then Garrett Atkins. Can they tie it against Hermanson? 2-1 Sox. New pitcher for the Sox, their closer, Dustin Hermanson, coming on as we go to the bottom of this 9th inning. The Rockies trailing by a run. Hermanson started the year with 19 consecutive scoreless appearances. Jay, if there's a chink in the armor, he has been scored upon in 3 of his last 4.
That's the only time he's been scored on all season, as you mentioned, and has yet to give up a home run. Very competitive. Threw very hard right out of college. With a good slide. It doesn't throw quite that hard anymore, but still throws plenty hard enough with that good slide, and again very competitive. It makes him a very tough guy, but he has not been as effective in the last week or so.
He started the season with 21 1/3 scoreless innings. That's a record for a Sox reliever beginning the season. But he's got a tough part of the Rockies order now. He'll be facing the left-hander Brad Hopp to begin things. Brad 0 for 3 tonight. Rockies need a run to tie. Hopp has seen Hermanson once. Dustin, of course, getting time with the Giants and some other National League teams in his career. Brad's 0 for 1 in his career against him. Counts even up. Holliday and Atkins to follow. Brad had the big hit last night for the Rockies. Gave them their only runs of the game, that 3-run home run in the 1st inning off Freddie Garcia. What can he do here in the 9th? This one hit down the line, and it's going to get back into the crowd.
As we saw in the opening of the show, Jeff, he has power at all left, center, and right. He can hit that anywhere. Right, you need base runners though right now. Get on base.
I think Coors Field helps you to realize your power too, because yeah, you can hit it into that jet stream in right center if you pull the ball. But a lot of guys find out if they hit it the opposite way it carries, they get confidence. You start going the opposite way. Pitch inside, and Hopp making it a tough at bat against Hermanson.
There's a lot of open space out there. I think it helps. Sometimes when you're going good, it looks like there's nobody in the outfield at all.
2-2. Got him. Down and away.
Tough pitch.
Yep.
Good pitch.
Boy, this bullpen tonight for the White Sox, Jay, has been lights out. They've faced 7 men, 5 of them going down on strikes against Kotz and now Hermanson.
Change up there in a perfect place for it, right down and away. It's a great pitch. You got to sit on the fastball when he throws that change up. That's tough.
Matt Holliday 0 for 3 tonight. He's had some success against Hermanson. 3 for 7 in his career. The pitch is low. Rockies need a base runner. They need Matt to hit the ball out of the park. They need a run one way or the other. Sox trying to make it 2 straight in this series. First interleague series of the year for the Rockies. A tough pitch on the inside. Looked a little up. 1-1. Last time the Rockies had a man reach was Desi Relaford in the 5th inning. So Contreras, Kotz, and Hermanson retiring 13 straight. This is shades of what Freddie Garcia did by himself last night.
Well, that's advertised. When they arrived here, a good starting pitch and a good bullpen. We've seen it. And timely hitting again tonight.
2 balls and a strike.
It's been a good baseball game.
Yeah, it has. In the air and playable. Rowan will have this one. And there's out number 2. Take you back, 4th inning. Garrett Atkins at the plate. Home run or not? Deep right center. Did it hit behind the yellow line? Did it hit on the yellow padding and come back? Jamie Quirk came out, argued the point. It went as a double. It drove in Preston Wilson. Was it out? If it was a home run. And it would have tied the game. As it was, the Rockies settled for 1. They couldn't get Atkins in. 2-1 ball game. Last shot here for the Rockies. Corey Sullivan has come to the on-deck circle. He would bat for Ardoin if Atkins can keep it going. Hermanson trying to nail it down, trying to make it 14 for 14 in saves. Could do it right here. Freedy. That's the ball game. Boy, a great run by the Sox bullpen. They retire all 9 men they face tonight. Here's our player of the game, Jose Contreras. He gets the win. He worked the first 6 innings, and Kotz and Hermanson brought home win number 3 for him this year.